Welcome back to another video. My name is Callan and I'm currently reacting to every single A24 film in order. Today, however, I want to show off my most recent trip to the state of New Mexico, where I visited a few filming locations for the movie Eddington, as well as various other sites throughout the state. Welcome to the New Mexico vlog. Even though we're not quite in New Mexico yet, we flew into El Paso, and since we're driving up to New Mexico, we're making a quick stop here at the outlets. First up, we love our Columbia. Gotta see what they got. Any Texas or maybe even New Mexico exclusives. Ooh, they do actually have some Texas ones. These are all pretty good. I was hoping for a White Sands National Park. They have Yosemite. There's more over here. Oh, there's so many Texas ones. What the heck? There's like the State, the Armadillo. We got the Longhorns. That one's pretty fun too, with the logo. This is so exciting. They have a Disney outlet. Check out their window display. We got Beauty and the Beast. And all the other characters, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Chip, Mrs. Potts. Oh, it's like an old school one where they have all the figures up there. Here's a closer look at all of the statues. Look at these Pooh bags. My mom needs all the Pooh merchandise. They have the Bigfoot orange bird, which I have in my room. Can't remember how much I paid for it though, but it's $10.98 here. Alright, it is pretty windy out here in Texas, but we are leaving the outlets now. We actually did pretty good, didn't spend too much money. I'll show off what we got maybe once we get to our hotel. Anyway, since we're in Texas, gotta get some food. We're eating at Whataburger. Here we are at Whataburger. I'm counting this as our first official time. The only other time we ate at Whataburger was at some random airport in Texas. I can't remember which airport it was, but this will be our first time at a true location. Also, this banana pudding shake looks good. Might have to get that. We're still waiting on our burgers, but in the meantime, ended up getting the banana pudding shake. Let's try this out. Oh, that's good. So banana-y. Food has arrived. We're sharing the fries, and we both got the green chili burger. This will be a good test because I think New Mexico is known for their green chilies, so try it here in Texas and compare it. I wasn't expecting this burger to be so huge. Look at the size of the bun. Also, the fries are really good. Really enjoying Whataburger so far. Like I said, fries were good, shake was good, and really liking these green chilies. Alright, I'm so full, but that was a successful Whataburger trip. Glad we gave it another chance because we both remember not really liking it that much when we had it at the airport. But this time it was really good. So much food. That burger was huge. Now for our next stop, it's about an hour and a half away, so I also got myself a coffee there. Iced coffee, vanilla iced coffee. Pretty good. It has like a nice smoky flavor to it. Alright, we have officially made it into New Mexico, and we are starting off here in McGinn's Pistachio Land. That right there is the world's largest pistachio. We'll get a closer look later, but for now, we gotta check out the store. Here's the famous New Mexico coffee. This is my dad's favorite blend of coffee, or like brand of coffee. Also, look at all of this Pistachio Land merchandise. You can get little crocheted pistachio. Got some magnets. Pistachio chapstick. We also got some plush. This place is honestly massive. There's so much to look at. There's a giant Jack Skellington right over there. Also, right over here I saw something about free samples, so try a bunch of the pistachios here. Also a lot of alien stuff. Look at all of the different flavors. We got dill pickle, spicy dill, garlic, habanero, green chili for sure. Gotta try that one since we're here in New Mexico. That one's pretty sweet, the cinnamon one. I also just tried the green chili. A little bit of a kick on that one. We didn't bring our coins, but there's smashed pennies here. Gotta get the pistachio one, both of these. Do they do tours? Gotta ride that thing. There's Norman Reedus. Oh yeah, do we gotta watch that show now? Gotta find that episode. Alright, got a couple of gifts for the family. Once again, there is a giant pistachio. But first, gotta get pistachio ice cream. Look at the scale of the pistachio compared to the ice cream. There it is. World's largest pistachio here at Pistachio Land with our homemade pistachio ice cream. Wow. Oh, it's so good. Right over here we have the plaque that says it's the world's largest pistachio. Also, there's a little tour bus. Next time we'll have to do that. We've now made it to our next location. We're here at the White Sands National Park. I'm gonna check out the visitor center first. Try and rent a sled and some wax. And then hopefully go down some dunes. Sad day, they said they stopped doing the sleds at 3. And it's currently 4:15. Hopefully we can borrow somebody's one out there. We'll see. We gotta make some friends. I turned on my noise canceling because it's super windy out here. Luckily, it's not really blowing any of the sand, but we're here at the picnic area, which is supposed to be one of 2 popular spots for sledding. But as you can see, we're the only ones here, so unfortunately we can't make any friends and ask them to borrow their sleds. I guess we still can walk around. This looks pretty steep though. I just want to feel the sand. I can show you one of the things that we ended up buying at Columbia. We bought some face masks or neck gaiters. All right, here are neck gaiters. Even though it's not like sandy, we probably could use it from the sun and the heat, give us some UV protection because it's reflecting this white sand. Very bright out here. Take this off. Ooh, look at that. It's pretty cool to the touch too. Not hot. I'm struggling to make it up this hill. I don't know how I would have like sledded. I would have done maybe one time and I would have been too tired to go another round to climb back up this hill. Once again, as you can see, we're the only car out here. We'll head over to the other popular sledding trail. Maybe we'll find some people out there. It really is so deceiving. It looks like it's all flat. Like you can't even see the incline. I do like this picnic area. How it has like this half clamshell design. I think it's supposed to block from the sun and the wind. I'm curious to know what it's like during the summer, or I don't know. Does it get busy? I can't even imagine summertime. But I feel like we came at a pretty good time. It's not like terribly hot for us. But yeah, I imagine summer being terrible. All right, we made it to our next location. Next popular spot for sledding. There's a lot more cars, but unfortunately I don't see anybody with a sled. I don't think anybody brought their own. I think all of us were hoping to rent one at the visitor center, but they stopped. So none of us here have a sled. Sad day. We'll still walk around. Right, this is the name of the area that we're in. Dang, there's nowhere we're doing the loop today. 3 hours, 5-mile loop. All right, now that we've left the pavement, there's no real trail. So I don't know how you're supposed to know where you're going for like the 5-mile loop. I mean, I guess you can follow the footprints, but do we trust those footprints? How do they know where they're going? Seriously, can't even imagine being way out there. We've now made it to the city of Las Cruces. Taking a short break, getting us some coffee as we continue our drive. We're trying this place called Scooter's Coffee. This is the iced turtle latte. Yeah. And then I decided for no coffee, although maybe I should have got coffee. I got one of their Red Bull infusions. This is the aquamarine. It was blue raspberry and coconut. It also said this was locally owned. I don't know if it's just this location or if Scooters is a New Mexico thing. I think we got maybe an hour until we get to Truth or Consequences. Alright, after many hours of driving, we have officially made it to the town of Truth or Consequences. And what's exciting is that we're staying at this place called Fire Water Lodge, which was used as the exterior for Paula's restaurant in the movie Eddington. We'll do a full tour tomorrow. We'll do actually my whole filming locations video for Eddington and exploring the town of Truth or Consequences. But this is what our room looks like. This town is known for its hot springs, so we have this hot springs tub. This thing is massive. Look at the size of that tub. But the best part, outside there's a cat. Boots is the cat's name. She loves treats. All right, because we did so much driving today, nothing too exciting for dinner. Just got McDonald's. However, because we are in New Mexico, it does come with green chili, so that's pretty exciting. Let's open it up. We can also compare it to Whataburger. Wow, the green chilies are significantly better here. I was surprised, especially since it's at McDonald's. They're a lot spicier than Whataburger's one. Almost forgot. Gotta show off our haul from Columbia. This is one that Amanda got. She got the one with the Columbia logo that has Texas on it. And then this is the one that I ended up getting, the one with the long horns. And then of course we got the neck gaiters. Also we did good at Disney Store. We only got this little Stitch keychain. And then over at White Sands, had to get a magnet. Just this little magnet. Sadly no sleds. All right, good morning from day 2 of New Mexico, and good morning to Boots. There she is. Come here, Boots. Oh, what the heck? We found another cat. I don't know if this one has a name.
She was yelling at last night.
Boots has a friend. All right, as you can see, I have my Paula's Restaurant shirt on because right behind us, that's where we're staying at, the Fire Water Lodge. That was used as the exterior for Paula's Restaurant. They did repaint the whole exterior, but I think this little courtyard is connected to this restaurant, which is no longer operational. but you do recognize this gated area as well as the entire exterior should look the same.
All I see is it leads straight to the side of this hypothetical data campus.
Hey, is Paula in?
This whole courtyard area, our hotel is on the right, and then this is where the Paula's restaurant was. I think this is where they sat and conversed.
What, like Microsoft or?
Oh, not even. It's some random AI or deep learning or some crap.
Now just across of Paula's or the Fire Water Lodge, there it is, and then right over here, this building would have been the sheriff's station. Not sure what it is now, but this would have been where he had his whole setup. So with the sheriff's station being right over here, this is the intersection where the two kind of talked it out, argued about the 6 feet social distancing.
And I think it's better if we just let it all out on the table, okay?
Look, Joe.
6 feet.
Ted would have stood right on that yellow edge of the crosswalk. And you also do recognize the Firewater Lodge in the background, or Paula's, except it was painted like that brownish red color. And then Joe would have been in this crosswalk here, holding onto his hat, making sure it doesn't blow off in the wind.
Can we just talk? Can just the two of us?
We are.
As you can see, they're doing some construction and road work here in Truth or Consequences. But you do recognize that little water tower thing way up there on the hill in many of the shots. All right, so this next area here, you can see the saloon. That's definitely in multiple scenes. And then there's this other scene where the camera kind of whips around, starting with the saloon. It whips around here. And right over here would have been where Joe put his giant sign. I think in the movie this was like a barber shop, or it might have been at one point, but it's now closed down. But sad that they covered up this beautiful painting with Joe's face. And then the camera whips around one more time here. It's currently a love shack, but I think in the movie it was some church. I think it's called The Word. Now it's a love shack.
Eddington's, quote, city economic development official. And when Mayor Garcia talks, it's Sandoval's voice you're hearing. But who's Sandoval speaking for?
Also near the saloon, actually this whole intersection, this whole street here was where the main protests happened. And then you do recognize all these buildings in the background while they protest in the middle of the street.
Look what they done!
Stumbled upon something super exciting right across the saloon. In this window, we have Ted Garcia signed. It's so funny that they still have this. We've made it towards the end of the street here to the grocery store or convenience store. This was in the movie where they had the whole argument about wearing masks. I'll try and cross the street later so we can get a better shot of the overall. Oh yeah, look at this. They still have stuff from Ted Garcia. I'm glad they decided to keep all of this up in this town. Before we entered the store, this is where Joe would have parked his car, and then we had the line of people lining up 6 feet apart, and then they had the argument with the guy about entering the store without a mask.
Hey! Hey! What is going on here? Fred! He can't breathe in his mask. You want him to starve too?
Also again, beautiful mural that was covered up, this time with Ted's giant sign. All right, we've made it inside. This is where everything was filmed. This all looks familiar. We gotta go to aisle 7. That's where he bought the sleeping pills or the melatonin. It's a little difficult to see since they have this whole display here, but you can see the bars. You do recognize that in the movie.
That's much worse when you get in line for a ventilator.
I can't breathe in the mask.
Get out!
Made it to aisle 7. Let's see if they have the melatonin. I think he grabbed the sleep aid. I can't remember now. Leaving the store now. We did get ourselves a donut. We got an apple fritter. Also, right over here, this is where Joe bought the guy all of his groceries, and then they took a selfie right in this intersection, and you can see that building in the background with the green roof.
I want you to take this.
Oh, it's just, what is this?
That's for you.
Ready?
Okay. That's fine.
Okay, now that we crossed the street, got a better view of the entire supermarket. Darn it, this road is closed, but I mean, you can still see it from here. This white building, this is where Joe would have parked his car, and then they had the giant Zozobra statue on the roof of that building. While his car is there, if you pan around this way, that road leading up is where they had the burning cross. See, as we walk by why here's a little better view of the incline where the burning cross was. Now, not only was the Zozobra statue on the roof here, but you do recognize the windows on the road leading into the town. This window right over here is where they had all of that writing where it said something about Fauci.
Leo and Donna Anna have more, yet these counts are dumped into the state totals every day.
They repainted it, but on the top of the building is where it said Eddington Tire Thrift. And then again, on this window on the side when he drove by, talked about Fauci.
There are more reported cases in New Mexico prisons than in all but 4 counties in the entire state. Only McKinley, San Juan, Bernalillo, and Donna Anna have more.
This is pretty fun, this little art display. We gotta take our picture in that one. They should do one of Ted and Joe. Jeez, oh, am I supposed to take off my hat? Hopefully you can see us okay. All right, we now made it to this intersection where the Black Lives Matter protest happened.
No justice, no peace, no racist police.
You do recognize this building in the background, and then let me flip this around. Right in the middle here is where all the kids congregated. And then you do recognize that blue awning on the right.
Come on.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
I do also like that they didn't cover up the mural in the movie. They kept that one up. This is so sad, all this road work. I think to the left of us would have been Garcia's bar, and then to the right, if we can make our way to the front, would have been where the town hall was. We did find another cat though. Look at him. Oh, he's scared. There he goes. Now because that road is blocked off, I can't show the entirety of Joe's running trail, but he eventually makes his way all the way down here. And then further down, you do recognize these kind of arches. And then that, I don't know, reddish orange building in the background. This is where the whole shootout happened. All right, using my iPhone so I can zoom all the way down, but you can actually see that it still says Garcia's bar. If only they weren't doing road work. I just want to go there, but there's Garcia's bar. Okay, this is good. I made it to the other side of the road closure, but now we can see the front of the town hall. That doorway, this doorway here, and then the 2 light posts on either end of that. This is where he gave his speech.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Last night, around midnight.
Next up, the Geronimo Springs Museum. Just down there at the end of the street, that is where Joe fell through the roof and came running down here, and the shootout began. In the movie, this was Gunther's Pistol Palace, and then Joe broke in there, grabbed himself a gun, and then continued on down. All right, made it back, but there's no sign of boots. Yeah, we stayed in room number 8, Morning Glory. Over at the supermarket, this is the donut that we got. We got an apple fritter, looks good. It was $1.99. Sad times, unfortunately, we have to leave. Gotta say bye to this cat, and then bye to Boots. Now we have to make the very long drive up to Santa Fe. I think it's about 3 hours. So gonna have to grab some coffee. On our drive up to get coffee, it led us down this road, and this actually has the best view of Garcia's bar. Check it out. Let me actually use my iPhone so I can get an even closer look. But I love that it still has the Garcia's bar sign on there. All right, we're on the iPhone now, zooming in. There is a closer look at Garcia's bar. Curious to know what the inside looks like. Glad we were able to get a shot of this. Anyways, time to continue on. I think there's a couple spots that I'm gonna try and look at that's not really in this main strip. We'll see if we can find those, but first coffee. All right, so the coffee shop that we're at is mile marker 7. We're still in the town of Truth or Consequences. Here's a look at their menu. I might get the Zookeeper, which is a double shot with white chocolate macadamia nut and white chocolate drizzle. Definitely need something strong for this 3-hour drive we have ahead of us. Here's a look at the coffee. We also got these hash brown egg bites. But here is my Zookeeper with my double shot of espresso, and then this is the Moo Cow. So we're sitting outside of this park, and you may recognize this. This is where the vigil happened. There is the gazebo area, and you also recognize these kind of structures in the background.
Progress towards a better, more equitable, more connected future.
He
He was a person of color who beat the odds to become a person of power.
This coffee is so good. I love it. Hopefully this will give me the energy I need for this drive. I think this is going to be our final filming location spot. I believe these are the two towers that you see during the opening of the movie.
I am the first, last. I will make you $1 million in 1 year.
I don't think I'm able to walk up there, but those are the towers. This is located right next to a high school. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that might have been the school or like that stadium area where the kids kind of gathered. But there are the towers. Now, time to drive to Santa Fe. I think the GPS said we got 2 hours to go. Made it to our first rest stop. Rio Salado Sand Dunes. Pretty interesting. Many hours later, we have arrived in Santa Fe, getting lunch at this place called Tres Colores. Gotta get some real Mexican food. Our food arrived in record time. I did end up getting the mole enchilada. I can't remember what hers was, but she also got some enchilada. And of course, we got some green and red chilies on her. Leaving the restaurant now, I'm so full. That was so good though, I really love the mole, nice and sweet. We also got these cookies here. These are apparently the New Mexico State cookie. Here's a closer look. Nice and sugary. Now that we're done eating, gonna explore the city a little. Gonna head to the Capitol building at some point, but first gonna check out a museum. Also really love all of the architecture here in Santa Fe. We've made it to the New Mexico History Museum, and the main reason really why I wanted to come here, they have an exhibit on the zozobra. Gotta check it out. Alright, we made it inside. It was $12 per person. And over here we have a big mural featuring Route 66. Here you go, selfie spot. Pozo with Zozo. There he is, looming over my shoulder. I think I've been pronouncing it wrong, or putting the emphasis on the wrong place. I think it's like Zozobra or something is what the movie said. Look at the scale of the head compared to the people standing around it. Oh, this is pretty crazy. They actually have one. Gotta get a pic with it. There he is. So the whole point of this is to kind of submit all of your glooms, your sorrows, your problems, and burn them with the zozobra. As crazy as seeing this giant thing in person will be, it must be even crazier when they actually light it on fire at the end of the night. Again, I don't even know if you can tell the scale of this. Like the arms start over there. This is like the whole body. And look at the size of the person compared to that. I love how they have the documentation of all the different faces starting from 1965 kind of going down. For the most part, they kept the same design all the way down to 92. This is a really cool art piece with the way the light is shining on it, casting a shadow of the faces. I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna have to stand a little bit closer. But yeah, you can see the shadows here, the profiles of people's faces. I completely forgot that New Mexico is the site of the Trinity test, the atomic bomb testing. We got a map of New Mexico. It's pretty cool because we started off in El Paso, and then we went up to Alamogordo, and then we went through Las Cruces, back up to Truth or Consequences, and then all the way up to Santa Fe, and then we're gonna go through Albuquerque, end up in Gallup tonight. My coworker told me to go here. Definitely gonna have to eat here at some point during our trip. I think maybe either tonight or tomorrow morning. But as you can see, green chili burger. This will be our third one this trip. So bad. This place is seriously massive. We had to speed run through. Couldn't really look at everything. I would say it's worth $12 if you do have the time. We left the museum. I found a magnet of the zozobra. Again, the architecture in this town, so cool. The next place we're gonna try and check out is this Loretta Chapel. Gotta check the famous staircase, as seen on Unsolved Mysteries. Oh, $5 admission fee. Please be quiet. I don't know if I can talk and film. All right, we made it inside. Gotta whisper. This is pretty impressive. But then on the other side, there is the famous staircase. Oh wow. Was not expecting the music. The story goes in 1878, the chapel was completed with no way to access the choir loft above. Carpenters said it would be impossible to build a staircase without interfering with the overall interior space of the small chapel. Sisters prayed for 9 days when a man appeared. He created and completed the now staircase and quickly disappeared without pay or thanks. The miraculous nature of the staircase is due to the lack of a central pole and being held together without the use of nails. Additionally, the identity of the carpenter remains unknown. We have now made it to the Capitol building. It might be closed. It's all gated up front there, which is interesting. But the design of this Capitol building is kind of different compared to the other ones in various other states. The other ones normally have like that dome structure. This one doesn't. It has a flat roof, and I think it's round shaped. There's the Great Seal of the state of New Mexico. And I'm not too sure what the statue is up front. Unfortunately, it's all blocked off. All right, we're on the 3rd floor in the Capitol building. Nice overview of the entire rotunda. There's the Great Seal. And then the ceiling. Wow. Made it down to the main level. Then, once again, the Great Seal. And then the rotunda. Alright, we can check another state capital off of our list. Our final stop here in the city of Santa Fe. We're going to try out this chocolate house. Best of Santa Fe 2025. Here's a look at all of the chocolates. We also got to sample one of the drinking chocolates, which was so good. Basically drinking brownie batter. Completely forgot to film or take a picture of everything that we got, but here's one of the chocolates that we ended up getting. It was so good. I think I said the chocolate place was our last spot in Santa Fe, but had to make a stop for some energy. I ended up getting this giant Rockstar drink over at Dunkin'. Next up is Gallup, New Mexico. It's about a 3-hour drive. Not looking forward to this. Officially, over 3 hours later, we have made it to the town of Gallup, and we are getting dinner, of course, at Blake's Lotta Burger. Gotta get another green chili burger. While we wait for our food, there's Blake. Also love all of the rock work in the background. Also, right over here is Route 66. One of these days we'll have to do a trip driving the entirety of Route 66. There's our food. We made it to the hotel. The unfortunate thing is the elevators are down. Luckily, we're only on the 3rd floor. Could have been worse. Beautiful sunset. Can't wait to see what it looks like in the morning. Again, beautiful rock work all around us. All right, so the two of us are sharing this meal. Of course, we had to get the green chili burger. Also, we noticed that every single one of the burgers that we've had, they force you to get a double patty. And then we also found out that New Mexico is known for these Frito pies. Over in Santa Fe, we found a place that claims to be the originator of the Frito pie, but sadly we were way too full earlier. We do have to fly out of Santa Fe, so maybe if there's time tomorrow, we can stop there. But here's the Frito pie. And then check out the size of this burger. I'm glad we're splitting this. Again, I don't know why they force you to do double patties here, but every single green chili burger always comes with 2 patties. And of course, had to get fries. Hopefully this Frito pie thing tastes a lot better than it looks. That looks pretty crazy in there. How does our burger look? Ooh, that looks pretty good. Is there green chilies?
Like 3.
Some. Also, we said that we enjoyed the green chilies from McDonald's and wish they were on the Whataburger burger. That would be the perfect combination so far. We'll have to compare it to Blake's. All right, we had a little bite of the Frito pie. Actually really good. I'm glad it does taste a lot better than it looks. There's a nice little kick to it as well. So the burger is really good. I think it is my favorite out of the 3 that we've had so far. Or I kind of wish there was more green chilies. If they had more green chilies, for sure this would be the #1 spot. Also, I like that they have mustard on here. I am a mustard lover. So glad that they have mustard, and then it also comes with onions and tomatoes. Just needs a little more green chilies, and this would be perfect. Good morning from an early and very cold day 3 here in New Mexico. We're still in the city of Gallup. We've got about a 2.5-hour drive all the way up to the Four Corners Monument. I'm gonna stop over to possibly Blake's again for breakfast. Our food has been acquired. We both got some breakfast burritos. This should be somewhat easy, I think, to eat while we drive. Like I said, we got a 2-hour drive ahead of us to get to the Four Corners. And then after that, about a 5-hour drive to the Santa Fe airport. Definitely not looking forward to that. Here we are. We have officially made it at the Four Corners Monument. It's actually back there, but right up here by the parking lot, there's this jump and touch. Let's see how high I can reach this thing. I overexerted. I also got a balance beam. We got a whole workout station here, which is pretty good considering we've been sitting for a while. You did it. Here I go. Whoa. I'm so off balance. Pretty cold and windy over here. Also, I should note the price to get in, it was $10 per person. So $20 to go see the Four Corners. And here we are, the official Four Corners. Which state are we in right now? I don't know what state we're standing in. We have to go look at the crossings. We got a bunch of flags all around. Okay, so right now we're in Utah, and you're in Arizona. All right, our turn to go stand in the Four Corners. Here we are, officially in 4 states. Technically, there we are. Are you in all 4? We're gonna fall over. So right over here, this corner is Colorado, Utah. Right over here it's Arizona, and then New Mexico. We've actually never been to Colorado until now, and officially check this one off our list. We have been to Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona, but never Colorado. My shadow's in it. Oh, it's so bright. I should have brought my sunglasses. I'm glad we came early. This sign says, please be prepared to stand in long lines for taking pictures, prevent heat exhaustion. Now that we're here early, 1, it's not hot, and 2, there wasn't any line. Now it's starting to fill up though. Good thing we came early. Also, there's a lot of vendor booths. I'm curious to know if that'll fill up later on today too. Right now there's only a couple open. Over here we have some info of how far we are from points of interest. Let's see, Santa Fe, 271 miles. That's what we have to do today to head back to the airport. All right, and with that, I think we have completed our time here at the Four Corners National Monument. I picked up a magnet from one of the vendors, hand-painted magnet with all the states. Anyways, like I said, now we got a 5-hour drive to Santa Fe. Making a small pit stop in the city of Espanola, and this is actually where The Curse was filmed. Unfortunately, just passing through, we don't have time to do a full filming locations video on this. This is pretty exciting. In the town of Espanola, there's a 7 Brew coffee, and I know this only from Ryan Trahan's 50 States video last year. Gotta try it out for the first time. I ended up ordering a banana bread mocha. And here's my banana bread mocha, and then what did you get? Sweet and salty?
Yeah, sweet and salty, salted caramel, white chocolate brevet.
They need to open a 7 Brew in our state. After many hours of driving, we have officially made it back to the town of Santa Fe. We're getting lunch at this place called Pantry Rio. I think we're gonna split something in hopes that I'm still hungry later to get the Frito pie. Our small little Rio sampler has arrived. I think I might have some room for a Frito pie later. We'll see. Leaving the Pantry Rio now. That place was so good. As simple as everything looked on the plate, every single item on that plate was delicious. And I also really love the salsa. All right, we're gonna walk a bit, maybe build up my appetite again, to hopefully get this Frito pie. Oh wow, it's so blown out. But we're here at the 5 and Dime, home of the world famous Frito pie. According to the sign, as seen on TV. What a sad day. Good thing I'm not that hungry. But the snack bar is closed all the way tentatively until maybe about the 27th of this month. Darn it. Guess we gotta come back. Since we enjoyed this place so much yesterday, we are back at the chocolate house. I don't think I filmed this case yesterday. They got 2 different cases of chocolates. Can't believe I forgot to film our chocolate again, but we ended up getting a brownie and a couple other truffles, all of which, once again, were so good. We're on our way to the airport and stopping off at Firehouse Subs, just so we have something for the plane. And check it out. Look at this mural. There's a Zozobra. This is so good. All right, sad times. We officially made it to the Santa Fe airport. It's such a tiny one. Dropping off our car now. Luckily, it survived our crazy trip. Basically driving the entirety of New Mexico. We've officially made it through TSA. This airport only has 2 gates. And check it out, above gate 1, there's 3 Zozobras. Look at I'll zoom in on my iPhone. That one's crazy looking. Is that feathers? That one has a fly swatter. That's funny. Alright, and this officially concludes our trip to New Mexico. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments where we should go next to do another filming locations video.